Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO World Middleweight Championship, December 19th at the Manchester Arena. Tickets on sale now at frankwarren.com. Or to watch on TV, subscribe at Box.
As I say, I'd like to thank Frank Warren as well, because Frank Warren don't get enough credit. You people slag, people go. Listen, let me tell you, most promoters, the amount of fights and world titles that have got on this line, let me tell you, Frank Warren tonight wasn't paying peanuts out. He wasn't paying peanuts out. He was paying life-changing money. And for him to go and put the show on, and he's done it for me. And listen, he deserves a round of applause, because I stuck by him. He's always said he'd deliver, and Frank, you've delivered. And I'm with him from day one to the end. So Frank Warren, thank you very much. One of the best promoters in Europe, if not the best.
Well done. You have to belt, there's a lot of big fights out there. Is there anybody in particular you want to thank?
Listen, first of all, I just want to have my Christmas off. Sit down. Frank Warren can have the stress and thinking of that over the Christmas with Daniel. Listen, he ain't done me wrong so far. He's done me, you know, people said I was mad stepping aside. I thought I was mad stepping aside. But he set me down in some threads, and he was telling me what route to take me, and I thought, is this the right route? And I thought, you got to have trust, and I trusted him. And listen, they can't get no better than what he done, because I've got plenty of money on the way fighting, stepping aside and world champion at the end of the year. He said he would deliver me world champion. So, listen, I want Cotto, Canelo. I love them fights. I want to move up. I've beat Spike. I've beat Eubank. Now I've gone on and took the world champion's title, Andy Lee. I'm WBO world champion. Now I've got the say. So I'll have a Christmas off. Then I'm sure Frank will give me a bell in the new year, and we'll go from there. But listen, people think now that I'll go out of camp, get fat, and you know, and have a break over Christmas. Don't be wrong, I will have a Christmas off. But that title there, I'll work for that title. I know what I'm up against with these world champions, and I know I've got to stay on form to compete at this level. I'm at a new level, and I've arrived.
Frank, what are the chances of an Alvarez fight?
Well, Bill wants that, and there's something to think about. And I've got to be honest, I don't think that'd be a difficult fight to make, to be quite honest. But it's something I want to think about. You know, what I would like to happen, and then obviously sit down with the guys, and we'll, you know, I'll tell them what I think, and then we'll make a decision between us. But yeah, I think Bill. I'll keep saying this. Bill is a better fighter, I think, than he gets credit for. And you know, I look at all different, you know, I always look at fighters, not what they're good at doing, what they're bad at doing. And, you know, we knew a couple of things that Bill in the past was basically, you know, sometimes the way he lived.
Yeah.
But he's addressed that. I mean, he looks magnificent the way he's dealt with that. And I think that's, you know, that's something obviously that's going to be moving forward. It's only going to get better and better. But I think, you know, it's a matter of looking. It's not about winning a world title. I always think, if you want to become world champion, you don't want to become just win the belt, you want to go on and defend it. I'm not saying go and fight a load of dummies, but you want to go and make money, because that's the objective. It's the hardest game in the world, in sport. You want to secure your family financially, and you know, and everybody, and you know, make sure your life's good when you get out of boxing. You want to leave with your marbles intact, and it's my job to ensure that happens. But there are some fights there, and I think that, you know, with Bill's skills, and I think this will bring him on. You know, winning the world title will bring him on. And I think that, you know, there's fights out there, including Alvarez, that if we pick them at the right moment, they're winnable fights. You know, when you look at Alvarez against Floyd Mayweather, and I know we talk about Floyd Mayweather, but I mean, he wasn't even didn't get in the races because he was boxing. Boxing. Bill is a good boxer. Alvarez is a good puncher. He's a tough Mexican. You know, that's his style. But I think, you know, a couple of fights, you know, sometime next year we could get that on towards the end of the year.
People think that they see me in the fight in that ring, they look at me, I said it at the press conference, I look easy to hit, I look easy to outmaneuver, but when you're in there with me, it's a different thing. Look at Andy Lee, look what he did to Peter Quillen, he was outboxing Peter Quillen, look what he did to Korobov, look what he did to Jackson. They're all world-class fighters. When I'm in there, people don't give me enough credit. When I'm in there, I'm a lot difficult and trickier than people think when they're in the ring with me. You asked anybody who's been in the ring with me.
And that's why he's a cagey fighter as such, because he's thinking, he's not, my concern in the fight was he's going to let his heart rule his head, and he didn't do that. He kept to the game plan, stayed focused, knew what he had to do. I just thought at the end with the crowd, I knew that Andy Lee, there was a part, I thought Andy Lee knows the next, the last couple of rounds he's got to come out there and try and win it. In my opinion, he was behind, and he had to come out and try and get it. But Bill stayed cool, calm, and he did what he had to do. Bill is a quality fighter. You don't go and box for your country in the Olympic Games, 18 years of age. And he was quite a standout performance there. He was a Cuban guy.
Yeah, well, he beat me.
Be good fighters. He's a good class act, and I'm absolutely confident he can go on and do some really good things. For me, we could make Cotto the next fight in a heartbeat. I'd do that tomorrow, and I would say to him, "You're doing it. It's not my choice. So I know he'll fight anyway. It's a fighting man." And I would say to the team, "This is it. This is the fight I want for him, because he had beat me."
It's the fight I want. Skills pay the bills. That's the way I look at it.
Is that a fight with Cotto that you'd like to see happen in America, Billy, Frank?
I think wherever it, look, I bang on about home advantage, and I think in certain fights you want home advantage for obvious reasons. The crowd gets behind you. When the crowd are behind you, I'm sure you speak to any fighter. Sometimes if the going gets tough and you're away from home, but when you're in front of your own people, you've got to pull a bit out. But I've sort of taken guys on the road. We took Joe Calzacchio to fight Hopkins, and everyone was saying Hopkins was shot. He wasn't. He simply, after Joe's fight, we went on to do. We even took Derek Chisora out to beat Mike Tyson, and last week Enzo went out and finished Roy Jones's career. He's capable of going to the States and doing that. This went out live on Showtime.
Yeah.
They showed it. It's so he's cementing it. I've been looking at Texas. We've had some good reports back from him.
Can I just ask Billy two questions? One, have you got the perfect style for Miguel Cotto? And your increased fitness, we saw a much more, even after you got him down in the third, you seem to have focus and concentration etched on your face for 12 rounds there tonight. Two questions.
Gareth, I was sitting in the dressing room, even in my room, and I was thinking, fight for the world title, and I was so zoned and buzzed, I was thinking, am I switched on? I was so zoned in, I didn't know I was switched on. And in that dressing room, I was zoned out. This tunnel vision got through. When I got in that ring, I was just switched on. It was just like no tomorrow. And when I knew I had them knockdowns, no one was beating me. Nobody. And what was your other question?
The style of Cotto for you?
Cotto, listen, since I've been a young boy, I would love that fight. His style suits me. I would love a Cotto fight. I'll take it next. If I could have 2 weeks off, I'll get back into camp and look for the new year. I would love that fight. I've wanted that fight since I've been a young boy, watching him growing up. That would be a dream. And to go to America and do it would be a bigger dream.
Traveller versus traveller tonight. Just want to ask a question about that. The respect between you both is quite extraordinary. It's almost touching class.
Listen, it was. Listen, I was saying nothing wrong about Andy. He's a true champion. But I'll put the pressure on myself. I will always perform under pressure. There's no room for the loser in our community. And I wasn't being no loser tonight. I have my son there. I've had him here with me since yesterday. I've seen him for 2 months. He's been with me all day, yesterday, all day today, and I was never going to get beat in front of him today, never in a million years. So that was it. Traveller, here's the one, English Saunders.
And if you look at Bill, he's gone into a couple of fights as an underdog. He went in as an underdog for some reason, I don't know why, against Eubanks, and I thought he won. But if you look back at the Eubanks fight, I know Jeff done it. We did it on the channel a couple of months ago. And everyone's saying he lost the last couple of rounds. He actually didn't. One of the rounds I thought he did. Eubanks was punching in there, but he went in underdog, won the fight. The Australian guy, what was his name?
Fletcher.
Yeah,
From Australia.
who went on to fight for the world title. He fought him, knocked him out, absolutely destroyed him. and for the European title, again,
Cheers. Cheers. Good fight, mate. Good fight. Would you put them in the glass and me gloves? I'll give them to Sean. Would you say him?
What?
Sorry?
You talked about Jacobs and Golovkin. Did I miss that at the start?
No, we talked about.
Golovkin's talking about today. What's the winner of the fight?
Who said this?
Golovkin.
Said he wants the winner.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've got to be honest with you.
And Daniel Jacobs.
Right, you know, Daniel Jacobs had a good win last time out, but you know, first round, I'm very wary of first round knockouts because anything can happen in the first round. You catch someone cold, they go, but, you know, you perform really well. Golovkin is an absolute class act, there's no doubt about it. He's got a million options. He's got 4 or 5 really good options here, Bill has, and we'll look at each one of them and consider them. And at the end of the day, it's about fight risk, money, and what happens after that, you know, that particular fight. So we will, as we always do, look at it rationally and then make a decision where we go.
They will all be in the mix with the other guys.
They're all in the mix, yeah.
Listen, don't rule out another, and it showed a good occasion myself tonight. Rematch could even go, you know. I'm sure if we could do a bigger venue down London, you know, that's on the, you know, we could talk about that as well. Listen, like I say, I'll have my Christmas off. I'll enjoy my Christmas. He hasn't guided me wrong so far, Frank Warren, and we'll talk from where I go from there. But like I say, that was a good fight, Andy. Very good fight. Fair play to you. What I liked about this fight, there was no trash talk. There was nothing too proper fight then, and it was a close fight. It was a close fight. I can't sit here and say I run away with it. You know, one judge give it a draw, but it was a good fight, and I didn't beat, like I said, I didn't beat a contender and a fake world champion. He's gone to America and knocked Matt Carborough out, who was highly rated. Then he's gone to there and look what he did to Peter Quillin. I thought he could have won the fight. I thought he had the fight against Peter Quillin, and you know, and then he did it to Jackson first. So, you know, he deserves a lot of respect, and you know, I'm sure that he'd be game, I'd be game to sit down, and perhaps if business worked, we could do a rematch.
Andy, would you go for it again, and would you change your tactics a bit this time?
I'm not going to stay too long, and I just want to come in and congratulate you. Well done. Fair play. It's been a pleasure the whole way through the build-up to the fight. Both of us conducted ourselves like gentlemen, and we fought our hearts out. And 2 knockdowns cost me the fight, and you know, it was a close fight, but 2 knockdowns he deserved to win, so I can't complain with the decision. I would like another go of it. I felt I finished stronger, but like I said, 2 knockdowns cost me the fight. But congratulations,
Thank
you
you.
were champion.
Thank you.
And that's all I'm going to say. So thank you all very much. Oh, your man.
Eubank.
Listen, there's Eubank. Eubank's fighting people. Eubank's fighting people I beat 2 years ago. Let Eubank go to the Golovkin route. What he said he's going to go WBA. Right, let him go and fight Danny Jacobs, who he said, or whoever he said he's fighting. Well, listen, don't go back. Don't get mandatory for yourself for a world title, then shit yourself. Then go back and fight for the British title. I won the British title outright. Sat home in the cabinet. I won it 2 years ago outright, or a year ago. Don't get yourself at world level, thinking you're world level, world class. Then go back and fight for the British. If you've got big enough balls, go and fight for the world title. If he thinks he's good enough to be world champion, he'll never be world champion. He ain't good enough. He's not good enough. Relies on work. He's not good enough.
And I'm going to tell you something, mate. You know, I've worked with him. I mean this categorically. I watched that fight last week. It was an exciting fight, but Bill's, as we all know, Bill's already beaten both those guys. There is no way Eubank Jr will ever beat him if he got a chance at a rematch. If he got the chance. And I've got to tell you something. Last year, summer, we had that rematch done.
I was
All
signed.
the money was done.
Mine was signed.
All he had to do was, because the WBA did not recognise interim title. WBO didn't recognise interim titles. All he had to do was vacate that.
And I put my world title spot back on the line, and he was getting. Listen, let me tell you one thing. He was getting money. He was getting money where he could, if he wanted to, retire. Him and his dad could have some town Brighton, wherever they lived, and that finished it. But he decided not to sign like he's some sort of superstar. I'm the world champion now. I've got to say.
And just so you know, and then after that, you know, it didn't happen. The fight's quite, you know, at the time we put a lot of work. It's very frustrating doing it. Meaning we're arguing, although we were on the same page. We're
Nearly had a
arguing.
fight in the office.
Yeah, but the bottom line, you're lucky, I'd say. Yeah.
He had the bat. He had the bat. And he shot back. No, listen. Let me tell you, Eubanks. I know. Listen, and I speak for Frank as well. I can vouch for him. You don't know how hard they are, and I'm sure Eddie Hearn knows now. You can never rely on it. And let me tell you one thing, I'm the champion now, thank God. I'll give this to God, the victory. And I got to say, there's none of this turning up to press conference and not all that. I'm going to have my Christmas off and I'll sit down and decide who I fight, when I fight. But at the minute, I'm on to bigger and better things. If the Eubank fight comes, it's got to be for a lot of money, and I'll take it, but my rules, not none of their bollocks no more and all that shit. Because they don't want to fight, they just want to talk about fighting for a world title, but they don't want to get in because they ain't got the balls to get in and fight for one. Now he wants to go and fight for the British. He wants to fight somebody who I beat in 2012. I'd rather give Nick Blackwell a shot at that than give him a shot.
Why would you want to fight for the British title rather than fight for a world title?
Well, he said, listen, he said he's going for the WBA route, so let him fight Golovkin route, what he said he's going to go. Let him go on, if he beats Golovkin, then we'll have a big unification fight. That's good, isn't it?
But he could make the Golovkin fight tomorrow. They're looking for opponents. He could make that in a heartbeat. But like I said before, if he makes that fight, they should report his old man to the RSPCC, what they call it.
On a personal level, is it a fight you'd like though? Would you like to have him again?
Listen, I've been there and done it. I've been there and I've done it. I've been there and done it. I've beaten him. Listen, obviously that if the money's right, put a blindfold on me, get myself in the same condition as tonight, and I'll beat him. You know, if he thinks that I'm just going to sit there and if he thinks he can start fast, same will happen to him. What happened tonight? You get caught early. I'm in the best shape of my life. But let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. I've always never ever done my diet 100% right. The Eubank fight, I had a dietitian, a bodybuilding dietitian. Didn't suit my body. This time, I had a proper, thanks to Taft out on MGM, a proper dietitian. Eating 3 and 4 times a day, strong, finishing strong, starting mid-rounds. This time, different story, big different story. And you know, you are what you eat, and I've learned that now, and I've got to grow as a world champion, move on to bigger and better things.
Do you think that is a big difference for more boxers now coming through in the traveller community? Because Tyson Fury did it this summer, shed 4.5 stone, and he looked a different animal in the ring. Is there a change in the traveller community in the way that boxers are?
Gareth, let me tell you, I used to live like a fat pig. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Cut weight, do everything. I'm sure Jimmy.
Junk food.
Listen, me and Jimmy's license has been gone, if I told you that. Listen, it ain't Jimmy's fault, it's my fault. My fault. I'm a man for myself, it's my fault, nobody else's. But I got dragged away to camp, I got sit down, I got the right man, I've done it wrong all my life. I know what this meant to me tonight, and I know how I've got to do it now, and to take that away from me. You know?
Did Jimmy read the riot act to you about getting your body in the right shape?
Listen, Jimmy's he's very calm about his business, Jimmy. You know, people, because he don't say much, people underestimate his tactics, people underestimate what he does. But, you know, I owe a lot to Jimmy. You know, me and Jimmy and Mark, I couldn't do it without these two, because what you don't realise, they've come away with me working on this. Up at every morning, Jimmy knocking me up at 6 in the morning. I feel like hitting him in the head with a lamp sometimes. Mark got me on the track, I feel like strangling him sometimes. You know what I mean? But I knew it was for my own good. So I knew if I listened to someone like Jimmy on my team and Mark, I can't go wrong. You know, if I listen to people who's been there and done it, and I learn off people's mistakes, you know, I can only go bigger and better.
And was there wise counsel as the rounds counted down tonight?
Listen, Jimmy told me, it's all he was telling me is, listen, keep calm, get low, make him miss. Get first with a jab, get underneath him. Fun enough at the one yesterday, you said as well, Frank, get underneath. Oh, but I knew that. But, you know, people underestimate my jab. I've got a very, very good jab. And Andy's got a lot of reach advantage on me. You know, at times I was out jabbing him. You know, at times I was out jabbing him. And you know, the puncher got revealed tonight. You know, it turned around a bit. So.
And how does it feel? Is it sinking in?
Do you know what? I can't believe it. Do you know what I mean? I'm world champion. But listen, I can't say enough thank yous to everybody. Again, Andy Lee. You know, I've got to take me out after him. It's a pleasure to work with him. It's a pleasure to work with him. No problems. Only, you know, I'll make you laugh. Sitting in the dressing room, there was a complaint about fumes, Frank. Generator, petrol fumes. The generator was near the ring walk. Adam Booth complained about a generator. Andy Lee lives with generators. We live in caravans. So I don't know why he was complaining about that. Perhaps that was why the knockdown. I knocked him down. The fumes got in.
Yeah, a lot was made about
Who do you think is the best of the other middleweights?
Me, now. I've got the WBO world. I'm world champion.
The other middleweights.
Listen, Golovkin obviously is the man of the moment. But listen, I'm world champion. I won't say no. Listen, let Golovkin come down, sit down with Frank Warren, put the money on the table, and let's do business. Listen, I provide for my family. I've got 2 sons. You know, it's about, I'm just having me rest at the minute. Like I said, he's not guiding me wrong, Safar. I trust him. I trust him on my boxing career to the end. I'll put it in his hands, wherever he says to me, if he picks up the phone to me next week and says, I've got this, got that, sits down with Daniel and that, I'll say, Frank, let's go.
Jimmy, I just want to ask you, something was made of the contest between you and Lee's trainer and Adam Booth.
Shout out.
Do you feel a real sense of satisfaction about how you said about this fight tonight, tactically?
Well, that was the tactics to outbox him. I mean, he's a great boxer, Joe, so do what you're good at. And if you get lucky, which he did with a right hook, 2 good knockdowns, that sort of like sewed it up, as Andy Lee said.
Were you surprised when they were fighting your fight?
No, we knew he'd be looking for the big one, which he was threatening all the time.
I thought it was weary. I thought Andy watching Andy in the fight. I thought he was standing off a bit, and I think it was, you know, because he was.
Andy's tactics was to keep me long and outbox me, keep me long. But I knew I was faster. I knew I could pip him to the jab
and push him back.
And then in the end, Jimmy.
If you watch the fight, if Joe's moving his top off, Andy Lee misses or he don't throw. As soon as you stop moving there,
then he lets it go.
And he gets through because of his long reach. So when he did, it's hard to do for 12 rounds, but to win, he had to do it. He done well, he kept doing it all the time, and he ran away with the points.
And do you think speed was a difference?
Yeah, younger, there's speed, yeah.
He was split second faster than most of
The brain, you know, look, he's a thinking man's fighter, Joe. And he picks things up so quick, you know. He can work with anyone.
Frank, there's one thing fighters calling people out on Twitter. Has anyone actually phoned you up since you the fight and said, let's make it?
I've got a text, not an email, from Burnt Bond, in K2, they got Golovkin saying, well done, Merry Christmas. I couldn't get a call in there when we was trying to make the Tyson Fury fight. So, I might give him the treatment now. The good thing about this fight for me, it was getting it out on Showtime. They've got another show tonight, but we tagged it onto their show out there, and it was getting Bill out there, letting people see. And that's the name of the game. You know, it's been a great end of year for us. We're let down a bit this year. A couple of fights that we thought were made, which was Bill fighting Eubanks in the rematch. We got let down with that. Tyson, no problem with that one. But it works out well. Bill's done what he had to do. Liam won tonight. I thought Jimmy Kelly put actually a better performance in than anybody thought he would. Very brave performance. And we got Terry Flanagan. So we've had a good year.
What do you think about Golovkin? Is that a realistic?
Listen, Golovkin, he's the man, isn't he? You know, you've got to take it out after him. He's doing everything he should be. He's beating people in style. He's a very good fighter, Golovkin. You've got to give him 10 out of 10. Fighter of the year, in my opinion. But yeah, he's world class, obviously, and he's the man. But listen, I think that he's looking for opponents. He's struggling for opponents. I know he wants to clear up and win all the titles, but you know, I've got to do what's best for my career. And I think Golovkin, realistically, I'm 18 months away from that fight.
Does this compensate for not winning the Olympic gold medal?
Do you know what? The Olympics today in my hotel room, I sat down, I thought back to when I was in the Olympic Games. And I remember the day I got beat, and I thought, I don't want that feeling again, because it was a bad feeling, very bad. But I was young, stupid. I beat the Cuban who beat me, and he went on to win silver, and he cut me like a knife. And it does every night nearly, and I think about it, and I think, I'll kick myself. And in my bedroom tonight, I thought, I don't want that feeling again. I've got to go out there, because I knew what that was going to be. I thought it'd be the same feeling. I failed twice. So I was determined not to do it. And, you know, listen, it compensates. I'm the happiest man in the world right now. I'm world champion. I'm middleweight world champion. Still don't seem right. But, that's it. Done, Steve, haven't we?
Can we let our man get up?
Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders, the WBO World Middleweight Championship, December 19th at the Manchester Arena. Tickets on sale now at frankwarren.com. Or to watch on TV, subscribe at BoxNation.com.